Okay, so here we are back in the studio. It's been a while since I've recorded a video, so I'm really looking forward to getting into it. And I can't wait to share with you how good this vocal sounds now that I've laid it over the track. Today I'm going to be doing vocal processing, so really working out how to get the most out of the vocals, how to really tie it in with the rest of the track, and how to process it in a way that just sounds big and powerful. And then we're going to be doing some final mix tweaks and really getting it ready to send out to labels for a demo. So let's jump into the door and get on with it. Okay, so here we are in Ableton. We have the track in front of us here. This is the one that we've been working on all the way through the series. And so I'm today really going to focus on getting this vocal in. So what I want to show you is I have done some prep on this already. So all of these parts here, you can see this whole section. Luna Vox, Luna May is the vocalist. She's who I've been working with, and she's recorded all of this with her sound engineer Eric in their studio. So big up to them. This is just a marvelous job, and Luna's just got such a beautiful voice. So if we just have a quick listen to how I've just laid this in now, and actually let me just tell you what I've done for processing. Just so you'll see, the only thing I've got on these is a little bit of Melodyne, an ever so slight touch of pitch correction, just for a couple of notes here and there. But other than that, there's no effects on this. They did add some effects in the studio when they recorded this. I've got them down here as separate stems. So one of the things we're going to do today is compare what they did in the studio with what I'm going to do in the studio and see which ones we like the most, and maybe blend even a bit together back and forth. But let's just hear a little bit of the vocal just so you get a sense for the recording. So obviously it's all dry at the moment. Beautiful. So then we can fast forward a little bit. Let's just get into this. This is like the big crescendo. If I just back. Wow. Oh. So yeah, you get an idea for it. You'll hear more of the vocal as we go through and process it, but that's it. You can hear, first of all, that it's a really wonderful performance, and in all honesty, you cannot fix a bad performance. So if it's not working in terms of the power and the energy of the vocal with your track, it's often better to just go back, re-record it again, ask the vocalist to re-record new parts. Maybe there's a section that needs some more work. But honestly, I've been through this so many times now. It's a perfect recording. She's done such a wonderful job. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I've done to get this ready. You can see that these are all cut into tiny little bits. When I got the initial vocals through, they looked like this. So I had a long stem, and this is really the ideal way to get vocals. It's just a big long stem like this that is the whole full length of the track. So I just warp it, put it into complex mode, or you can use complex pro as well if you want. And I know the starting point here is right, because we're 1-1-1. So, and I'm going to move forward a bar because the engineer, Eric, told me he'd given me an extra bar to play with so that I can get all this to kind of just line up like this. All right. So you can see the vocal, this is exactly the same. These two are exactly the same here. They just line up with each other. But what you can also see is that I have moved some things around. I've cut some pieces out. So what I tend to do when I get vocals is I go through and first of all, I'll cut out any times where I can hear backing track or any clicks or pops. I'll often just cut out noise. I'm going to add some gating to this as we go through, but cutting out noise that you don't like is always the best thing to do, just doing it manually. It also gives you an opportunity to kind of fix any volume levels that aren't quite right. Now you can see here, these have been recorded at a pretty consistent volume, which is great. So I don't have to do a lot of that kind of work. But if you've got some parts of the vocal that are too low or too soft, you can just go in, cut that section out, reduce it, and do that, you know, directly into the clip here with the gain control, right? So you can do that there. Having got that all right, and you can see with some of these I've really gone in and cut a lot out because there was just backing track noise, and although you probably won't hear it in the final mix audibly, it's all filling up space, and you'd rather have the clarity of just not having that in the background. It also allows you to kind of smooth off any areas, like you see I've got these little kind of gain, this smoothing on the gain on all the clips, this clip gain smoothing, so that just makes that it reduces any clicks or pops or anything like that. I also went in, as you can see here, and just made a little arrangement decision just to move this section out and replace it with some ad-libs as well. So that kind of just something I decided to do because it worked better for the overall composition. So once I've got that done, I'm going to get rid of that. We don't need that. Once I've got all of that done, then, as I say, I went through and recorded this into Melodyne and just used Melodyne to make any tiny adjustments to the vocal performance. So if I've got this part here, you can see here. So is that? Yeah. Thought it was better where it was actually. So I can just go in and move. I can go in and just move these elements around if they're not quite hitting the note just in the right spot. To be honest with you, this was absolutely minimal here, right? There was a couple of moments, but Luna's just hit these notes absolutely spot on. So it's a shame in a way, because I'd love to show you like a really bad recording that I had to go in and do loads of editing to, because it would be more interesting from a tutorial point of view. But from my point of view, I'm really happy that I haven't had to go through and do loads of Melodyne correction, because that could take time. But I would always suggest you do it, because ever so slight movements in the pitch on a performance can sometimes just create some dissonance and some atonality, which doesn't always sound nice. So it's always a good idea to go through and do that. So we have now a really nice set of vocals that are all working well together. Let's just solo them, and you can hear how nice the performance is together, right?
Inside me. Calm me down, me down.
No. So what I'm going to do first of all is, I think I might want to use some of these layers. Do I want to use some of these layers as wider layers?
Then rise again. All alive.
Feels like that could do with just a tiny bit of width on it. So I'm going to do, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a Haas effect to this. And actually, no, do you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use micro shift. It's a nice one for these kinds of vocals. So micro shift is here. And this allows me to blend dry and wet signals. So I can focus it above the bass area there, so above about 200. Let's do 250. That means it won't be getting in the way at the bottom. I can do the dry wet, so I'll put it on dry just for now, so we just don't hear it to begin with.
Try to hold me, but I don't talk.
Well, that's nice, isn't it?
The sound
Do the detune down, delay, just make it a bit tighter.
of my heartbeat.
See, that's really nice and really subtle. See how it adds just a little bit of nice width to it? Oh yeah, it's lovely. And then what about this one in here?
Thank the dark for showing me.
Gonna add that same one to this second layer here as well. So we keep the width going all the way through.
Let me back to me. Oh,
So it's just added a little bit of subtle width, and then later on, you'll hear this big bit of width that comes in. So I want to save the real wide performance for that chorus, for that real kind of moment, but I've got a little bit of width going on, so that's all good. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to take this limiter off the main channel. I'm going to actually process all of these vocals together because it's a really tight performance. The sound engineer has done a really good job of already doing some of the kind of volume control and just general tidying up that I would often have to do. So I can actually process these vocals all as one block because they're all coming through at a pretty consistent volume. See, we're all hitting a pretty consistent volume, so I can process these together. Let's see how we do with that, because it'll save us a lot of time and also CPU if we can just get them all into one group bus. So let's go for a little bit of Nectar. You don't have to use Nectar, but it's got a few tools in it that's really useful. So what I like to do with Nectar is I like to use the AI to give me a starting point. I'm not going to use all of the AI settings. A lot of it I don't like, but it's always an interesting one. So I'm just going to play it, get a starting point.
but I turn toward the sound of my heartbeat inside me.
Now let's see, what have we done here? So I am going to want to put some de-esser on. I don't want to use Nectar's compressor. Don't want that on. It does add a lot of stuff. It adds stuff like modules, then switches them off. I really no idea why it does that. So I like the EQ settings are kind of interesting. So let's turn the gate on first of all.
Try to hold me.
I'm gonna just let's just do it with the with this one on its own, just to get a sense for the gate. Hang on.
Try to hold me, but I turn toward the sound of my heartbeat inside me.
So that's cleaned that up quite a lot already.
Calm me down, me down.
Okay, that's nice. Now I do want to put a bit of a shelf on the bottom of this.
Believe again, fall apart, then rise again. All along.
If you can hear that slight kind of wobbling, it's this auto leveling thing. I may actually take this off, or at least reduce the strength quite a lot. Because it's, we're going to do a lot more of this with you know, I don't know. I don't think I want it on. I'm going to use compression and limiting instead. The thing is that it'll start to turn up parts that are quiet and turn down parts that are loud, and actually that can change the dynamics of the performance, and I don't really want to do that. So you've got to be careful with it. It can be useful, very useful for spoken word, but I don't think I want it on here. And then I want a bit of de-essing.
Try to hold me, but I turn toward the sound.
Just adjusting that to suit what I want.
Of my heartbeat.
Right, let's see what we've done there.
The tried to hold me, but I turned toward
Careful not removing too much body from
the sound
Yeah, it's definitely nicer.
of my heartbeat inside me.
Okay, that's lovely. So now we want to think about how we control the vocal. Okay, so let's actually, before we do control, let's add a bit of color. So I'm going to go for one of the things I really like to use on this is Saturn, because we can focus in parts of the vocal and do them slightly differently. So if we go and create a crossover at about the sort of 200 mark, so this is where the vocal kind of comes in properly. And just warm tape is nice, actually. Yeah, warm tape is lovely.
Tried to hold me.
I quite often turn it up to like before where I, it's actually a bit unpleasant. And then
Tried to hold me.
maybe don't have to mix it the whole way. And then up here we can have a bit of like clean tape or something like that,
Tried to hold me.
See that?
But I turned toward the sound.
Nice.
The night tried to hold.
So that's going to really help it like cut through the mix a bit more. So now we're going to do control. So the first, I want to put two compressors on. The first I want to use is the classic LA2A. I think everyone uses this on vocals, really, don't they? But this is this has got a really quick attack on it built in.
The sound of my heartbeat.
And we can keep, as we're doing this, we can keep looking at this.
The night tried to hold me.
So this is it. Let's get it without.
The night
So looking at the peaking volume.
tried to hold me.
So it's peaking at 15.6 at the moment.
But I turned toward
Okay, so let's turn this on.
the night tried to hold me.
Okay, minus 15.5.
Turned toward
So that's really interesting. Like,
the night tried to hold me.
lovely. Okay, that's really good. So then let's get another compressor on now to smooth out all that. So that's going to capture like peaks. Let's get another one on to smooth things out. And I'm actually just going to use Ableton's glue compressor here because it does a really nice job. So we can just put this on about 10, attack at 10, auto release to stop it getting, to sort of don't want any pumping. And then
Tried to hold me.
that's going to start taming that.
I turned toward the sound of my heartbeat inside me. The night tried to hold me.
Okay, and we can just group this.
The night tried to hold me.
Okay, it's a bit loud now.
The night
Yeah, great, okay.
tried to hold me.
You can see it coming in and leaving, the signal coming in and leaving. I try not to add volume, trying to add size and space and depth and character and all those kind of things, and also control. So what I want to do now is I want to put on a multiband compressor. We're just going to ever so slightly tidy up some areas using multiband. The first thing we're going to do is sidechain this to the kick. And let me just see which of those. Let's get our labeling right here. Which kick are we using? This one. So we'll call this new kick. That's going to be the right one. So then we go back here, get our vocals.
The night tried to hold.
And you see we can then just apply this.
Tried to hold me.
Let's do this. We haven't got any problems yet. I need some areas that have a kick in. Yeah.
Again. Home again.
So we're cutting out any bass frequencies and side chaining them away. Not that there should be a lot there, but it's just as a precaution to make sure we do get anything out of the way. And then we could also do another bit of this here if we want this. Maybe have I'm going to put span on and just have a look at the shape of the signal and see if there's just any multiband dynamics needed. See this is really this section around 250 there's quite a lot in there. So what I'm actually thinking here is I'm going to use Ozone for this because it's got such a good multiband compressor in it. And I'm going to add dynamics and just get to this point between let's call it 180 and about 280. So it's that whole kind of area there. There we are. It's that. So let's just.
I'm coming home again. Home again.
So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm soloing that section and just compressing that part just to bring it down a little bit. So you see, without it, it's just got it a bit under control there. Okay, that was nice.
But I turned toward the sound
It's nice.
of my heartbeat inside me, calling me down.
I think there's a little bit too much of this on the top end. I want to soften it a bit.
Breathe in, believe again, fall apart.
Actually, don't know about that compression. You know, when I hear it in the mix,
All lost.
it's actually quite nice with a bit more of that depth in there.
I'm coming home again. Home again.
Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. Right. So this is what I'm going to do next. Now is I'm going to do some spatial effects. And we're going to see how we get on if we put these onto this main channel and process them all through the same amount, through the same group, because sometimes it's nice to do these in separate ways, but I think we can get away with doing most of it all through the same group. So I'm going to add really simple set of effects here. This is a kind of a bit of a go-to for me, so you can see what I usually add. So first up, I'm going to do a ping pong delay, 3 beats, about this much feedback. Put everything up to 100% because you're going to put this in a group run this chain through it. So you've got ping pong delay. I'm going to put a vintage verb in there, as I always do, because it's wonderful. And we're going to use a preset to begin with to kick us off. We might tweak this, but let's go for maybe a vocal plate. Let's find it. We need to find a more interesting part. There we go. Right, it's really over the top. Oh, I don't know about that. Ooh.
Inside me, calm me down.
That's quite cool. Vocal hall. There you go. Simple. Don't worry, I'm going to tweak all these. This isn't the way we're going to leave it. It's going to get tweaked up. So we're also going to add in Echo Boy. Let's put in Echo Boy. Not going to do much with that. What have we got in there? Yeah, I'm going to save that for a second because I don't know if I'll need it yet, but I'm just going to have it there in case I want it. And the other one I'm going to use is this is a really cool preset called A Bit Tipsy. I'm going to add that in. It sounds weird, but I'm going to take the noise out of it and take the reverb off it. But yeah, this is going to be...
The night tried to hold me, but I turned toward the sound of my heartbeat inside me, calm me down, me down. Breathe in, believe again, fall apart, then rise again. All lost, I found within, I'm coming home again, home.
Okay, that's starting to sound quite nice, but what I want to do now is I want to tweak every single one of these separately. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of EQ on, and I'm going to create this kind of a shape. I know what I'm trying to do here. Take the top off, take the bottom off. So if we just solo this.
The night tried to hold me.
And then I want to take a compressor and add in side chaining. And I'm going to side chain this to itself, right? So we're going to do this thing where we want to duck this out of the way.
The night tried to hold me, but I turned toward.
Right, so we're ducking that out of the way. So when the vocal comes in, you don't hear all this echo, but as soon as it stops, you hear the echo, okay? And then we're going to do another one of these and do the same again. And this time we're going to do it to the kick,
The night
which obviously we can't hear because there's no kick here.
again, home again. I thank the dark.
And I am going to put a bit of side chaining on the whole thing. So I don't want to side chain this too much. It's just to make sure that we really do it, because these tails can become quite big and really get in the way, and it can start to irritate the maximizer or the limiter that you're running into. So we have to just be careful with them. So, okay, we've got this set up here now, this these two compressors and this EQ. I'm going to add this to all the other channels so that we're doing the same EQing and compression to all of them. All right. Not to the...
The night tried to hold me, but I turned toward the sound of my heartbeat inside me, calling me down, me down.
That's quite nice.
Breathe in, believe again, fall apart, then rise again. All I lost, I found within. I'm coming home again, home again.
Right, now let's listen to it. But that sounds nice, but let's listen to it in place because, in fact, let's...
I tried to hold me, but I turned toward the sound of my heartbeat.
Right, yeah, let's listen to it in place because quite often it will sound like a lot, and then when you listen to it in the actual track, it's actually still sounds quite dry. So let's go.
Tried to hold me,
Oh, that's good, actually.
but I turned toward the sound
Just making some little adjustments to gain.
of my heartbeat.
This is the beauty of doing it this way, is you can just adjust the gain controls up and down
Calling me down,
and
me down.
get it just the way you want it. Sounds really good.
Feeling the night, giving away the light. I'm coming home again, home again. Of my heartbeat inside me, calling me down, me down.
And that sounds lovely. And then we're going to do something which I've used in other videos, I think, which is just to add in some air. So let's add fresh air. Where is it gone? Up here, obviously. Fresh air. Let's add in supermassive. And then let's add in an E. We can put the EQs in from the other one. So I want the EQ and the compressors. And so what we're going to do here is, first of all, we're going to create this really big reverb. I'm going to use Cygnus X1 and then put the full mix up, right?
Tried to hold me, but I turned toward the sound.
Right. It's way too much, okay? But if we just suddenly...
Tried to hold me, but I turned toward the sound of my heartbeat inside me, calling me down, me down.
Really subtle. I don't want a lot of this.
Calling me down, me down. Breathe in.
Yeah, that's nice. It's really just there. Some air in the background. It's a lovely effect. Now, I think that's all I want to do in terms of depth processing. What I'm really interested in at this point, though, is how does this compare to some of the effects that they added in the studio? Because let's see how this compares.
Try to hold me.
It's actually pretty close.
The sound of my heartbeat.
God, it's really close, isn't it? That's incredible.
Calling me down, me down.
Oh,
Try to hold me, but I turn towards.
do you know what? When I blend them together, it's really nice. I really like that kind of. It's almost like the extra effects just give it a bit more of a container or something. It's very cool.
Try to hold me, but I turn towards.
Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, let's keep that the way it is. And then what I'm going to do now is some final shaping to this chain that I've created. So I'm going to use a... Where has it gone? Oh, why can't I find things when they're staring straight at me? Oh, that's why, because it's under FabFilter, not under Pro. There we go. So we got to be careful here. Yeah, that's all one block. Make sure we're getting this processed in the right way. So I'm going to just have a look at the... So you see we've got the reverb tails are adding in some rumble at the bottom end. Let's get rid of that.
Try to hold me, but I turn toward the sound
Right, so typically we've got some...
of my heartbeat.
We'll have some sort of noise collecting here. So I'm going to make that dynamic.
Calling me down, me down. Breathe in, believe again, fall apart, then rise again. All lost, I found within. I'm coming home again, home again.
I'm just going to take a little bit of the top off as well. Oh, it's nice. Okay, so that's really good. And then just to be on the super safe side, that we've got nothing really nasty in there, a little bit of soothe. This will just take the edge off anything that is too harsh. Really just make it really soft.
To hold me, but I turn toward the sound of my heartbeat.
It sounds great. It's such a good performance. Oh my God. Work with talented people, folks. It will make your life easier and more fun. Right. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to do some final holding in place now. Okay. So I want to control all this. We're back to this side so I can see what I've done here.
Try to hold me, but I turn toward the sound of my heartbeat.
So really slow settings just to catch it and smooth it off. Don't want to be adding volume, don't want to be taking any away. Right, and then we're going to put a limiter on this. What will I use for a limiter? You can use Ableton's limiter. Let's just use Ableton's limiter, because I know that sometimes people watching haven't got all the fancy plugins, and you really don't need them. Like, some of this is just me choosing my favorites. So what I can see here is that this is peaking. Actually, let's put that up here. So I think if I put that at about -20, nope, that's not -20, -20. What happens if I do -19? Yeah, that's nice. I'm wondering if when it kicks in here, so what I might do is I might actually automate these FX channels here, right? Because what I'm finding is, and this is often, you often find this the case, is that when there's not a lot playing, you can really hear all the spatial effects, right? And then suddenly the rest of the track kicks in and they sort of disappear a little bit. And you can either automate the spatial effects to kind of increase in volume, but I've got these nice effects tracks that I've been given by the engineer, which I can actually use here to do the same job. So if I put these up to full volume, so they're quite loud, I can use the utility and just automate them. So sounds quite good now. So keep the width, keep the space. It's really nice. Bit loud here. Then I can add more in here where it gets really big. That really adds some space to it there. more space to this section as well. We'll come back, we'll do some automation there. But basically this. Okay, that sounds good. So, this is cool. And then... can actually add a bit of return reverb on there as well. Just to put it all in the same space. Okay, sounding good. So that's the main thing I want to do in terms of actually processing the vocals and getting them sitting in the right place. Now let's just have a look at volume levels, because what I've noticed is these vocals are loud. There's the kick. So let's just have a look at some of the numbers here. This kick is peaking at minus 13. There's a limiter on this. Yeah, minus 13. And this is at minus 19. So might be a bit loud. To make it more quiet than you need it. So what I want to do is I want to create volume here without actual volume. So I might put some more compression on this. So see, I'm just compressing the signal all the way through the chain. I added some compression at the start before it went into the effects. I'm adding some compression afterwards. Right, so what's happening here? A lot of that's coming from this but the other thing we have now is that we've built up a lot of, if I play it, we've got a lot of work going on here. So between 200 and about 800k, which is also going to be clashing with, let's look at this here. The same here. So it's clashing with the piano and it's clashing here. So we're going to do some carving out. What I want to do is I want to have, let's put that over there. I want to have the vocal as the star of the show and the other things around it. So I'm going to look at all of the things that are, let's just get all of the instruments that might be clashing with. So this is also going to be the pluck. I'm going to have the pluck and the lead, the pluck and the vocal kind of occupying the same space. So what I want to do is make sure that they don't get in each other's way too much. So I'm going to use soothe for that, right? Just to smoothly have them not clashing in frequencies. So we're going to put soothe on here. We're going to have the vocal going into it. Lunavox, switch the sidechain on and focus it around this kind of area here because that's where the main. So that's the first one. The piano, again. So this, the piano again, actually, let me think what I want to do. Let's put soothe on this one as well. Soothe is really nice for this. It's a really smooth way to get transparency and stop clashing. It's quite subtle, so you don't get huge, oh, not the kick. So you don't get huge artifacts being created as it does its work. So So what I'm doing here is I'm only applying soothe to the center of the track. So the stuff that's happening on the side doesn't get affected by this. And let's see if this is having much of an impact yet. So you see how there's just not as much build-up as there was before? But I can hear it really clearly, right? We can add less volume because we're now creating space for it. So let's do the same on this harmonics rack. And for this, I'm going to try, let's first of all try with something called Unmask by Neutron 4, right? So with this one, we're going to put in Lunavox. Oh. So you can see that Unmask, it's just a little bit of a harder way to do it. I can also bring this in a little bit here to really focus on the area the vocal's most affecting it. Hear how much clearer the vocal's coming through now? I'm just getting much less of the build-up. There's also actually in this track quite a lot of bass in the top end. If you look at span here again, as it, hang on. So actually I might want to just add a bit of soothe onto the bass too. Soothe. You can also like tell you what, I'll show you if you want to use something like Q4 for this as well, because you can do it in Q4. But you're obviously not going to get the intelligent kind of dynamic. Or actually, I do actually think there is a way of doing that. Spectral. Yeah, you can do it like this way using, let's do this, make it spectral. Because one thing we can also do here then is we can do stereo placement mid. So that it's not going to affect the sides again. Gets the vocals down the center. That's our main start of the show. Let's get things out of the way. And then if we put the vocal into this as a side chain, and then turn side chain on, and you can see where it's overlapping. Be careful, it's a lot. Now actually, you could argue it's a bit loud now. It's funny, isn't it? Lovely. So now one thing I do want to do is just go as we go through the track, do we need to adjust volume levels ever so slightly? Because we can actually add a little bit of this, which is parallel compression. Just to give us extra volume. So let's just come into it a little bit and see what it sounds like when it kicks in. That's nice. So with the parallel compression, I've just got the threshold down full. I've got quite a quick attack. I'm just compressing and crushing peaks. I've not put any makeup gain on it. I don't need that here because it's on a return channel. So that's what I'm using effectively as makeup gain. And I'm just, this signal, if I put it in here. You blend that in and it's just like a thin layer that kind of adds depth to it and weight to it rather than just pumping up volume. Use your ears. I feel like it does need more volume there, so I'm actually going to use utility to just push it even further as it moves into that crescendo. Okay, so it's a weird little. Where did that come in? Is there some recording thing? There it is, yeah. This is a cool thing in Melodyne. Just noticed a little glitch there. Just pull it in. I'm going to add a lot of space to this as we come to the outro. Okay, I'm going to take a short break and come back to this in a bit. I need to give my ears a rest. See you in a sec. Okay, we're back. Had a little rest, give my ears a little rest, a little wardrobe change, and we are back into the mix. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to listen without my headphones on in my studio just to get a sense for levels, because I find that headphones can really distort levels a little bit and make it feel like things are too loud or too soft. So I'm just going to do a quick listen to some of these levels and just get a sense for, are we in the right ballpark? So okay, sounds pretty good. Often we'll turn it down and then turn it back up again. Yeah. And what I'm listening for is I don't want to be like sort of straining to hear it. I want it just to be there and present. But I don't want it to sit too proud of the rest of the backing track, right? I think I can bring some of this parallel compression down a bit. Overdone that a bit there. You can also be looking at this while we're doing it. I think the lead is also a bit loud there. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come back to all that. Just listen to the vocal now. It's going to come up a bit actually. Okay, so I think those the vocal sounds like it's sitting in kind of a good place. What I want to do next then is some processing on the whole kind of space and some of these spatial elements. So I'm going to use a few different bits for that. So I'm going to first of all look at what have I got here. I've got the delay, dotted delay, and then maybe I'm going to add another return channel here, which will be another delay. Let's call that 8th delay because I think I want to put an 8th delay in there. So I'm going to put in this delay in here. It's really simple, this delay, but I use it a lot, the Ableton delay, just because it's just, you know, very, very easy to use. I don't have to think about it too much. So
tried to hold me, but I turned toward
maybe if I put that on actually 4s, how does that sound? Yeah, that's us. So I'm going to call that 4 delay instead.
calling me down, me down.
So what I can do now is, in fact, I'll put my headphones back in, otherwise it's going to create all sorts of issues. So if I show automation in new lane and just It's a bit weird. I want to get it so it sort of just fits like it's hitting the
night. I tried to hold me, but I turned
so what we want is this last, like the last
to hold me,
me. So we're just creating this kind of like effect of echoing the last word.
but I turned toward.
But it's not, so it's not going on the whole of the,
The sound,
and it just creates a bit more space.
but I turned toward the sound.
Okay. So this is, I don't know what happens if I duplicate this. Is it going to neatly fall into the right place for me just by chance? Or am I going to have to go and do it all manually?
My heartbeat inside me, calling me down, me down.
That was handy. So what does that sound like in place?
Tried to hold me, but I turned toward the sound of my heartbeat inside me.
Let's just get these all the right. These are all different. They're all different heights at the moment. So if I make that -12, actually, is there some way I can drag it to the right spot? So I'm going to go through the project and I'm going to do this to every single last word of the song. And it's going to be really fiddly, but also add like a real nice depth to the whole thing. Okay, so I've done this bit of automation. I've automated the last word to have a little bit of extra delay on each. So fiddly, but really nice. So next thing I want to do is there's a few moments in this track where, like here, where I want it to really open up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group all of this stuff here together. In fact, I can pull it all in to here, because I'm going to create another little group after it, which is going to be like a spatial effects group. I might do the spatial, I'll do that before the compression limiting. So that's going to be my compression limiting group. And then I'm going to create this little group in here, which is going to be an auto filter. What else am I going to put in here? A washout. Got bass clefs, easy washout here. Group those two together. And then what I can do, ooh, some cool stuff I can do with that. Let's put an EQ before it as well. Just make sure I don't create some. So when I go in here, so it can just quite nicely, I'm going to automate this here. wash it out a bit in this section. Is that a jarring transition here? Sometimes you have to be careful with this. So what you're seeing here is, I've noticed some artifacts. That's like 6. There's quite a heavy amount of reduction going on there. And is it coming from, where is it coming through? So it's coming through the compressor into there. If I just put a utility in here and just automate the volume in this section, as soon as the washout kicks in, so this can come down a bit. So that's good. That's getting this down to something a bit more reasonable. And come down a bit further even. See, we're not getting that distortion now. I think I might want to put a different limiter on it, and I think I'm going to use Ozone's limiter. It's might be a bit of a nicer limiter for these vocals. So let's use this and get vintage. Try vintage limiter actually, because vintage limiter is quite cool.
Believe again, fall apart, then rise again. All lost, I found within. I'm coming home again, home again. Believe again, fall apart, then rise again. Breathe in, believe again, fall apart, then rise again. All lost, I found within. I'm coming home again, home again. Breathe in, believe again, fall apart, then rise again. All lost, I found within. I'm coming home again, home again.
Yeah, I think I prefer that. It's got a lovely character to it, this vintage limiter. Struggling with some of these. All right. So that's nice. So when I go into this, then that's going to make it a bit easier to control. And then let's do, I've got a, let's put another return channel in and call this one Super M. And I'm going to get a instance of Supermassive in here. Oh, why can't I find it? Here we go. That's why it's called Valhalla Supermassive, not Supermassive. I'm going to use my go-to favorite. It's good to have like some presets you just go back to over and over again. The less you can have to like tweak and think about everything all the way through, the quicker you'll be. And speed is important. Time is against you. So if I then have, see how it's spaced that adds? Right, so if we go, really nice. And then finally, let's try widening it too. Actually think that it might be quite nice to widen it. Could widen it on here actually. So what I might do for that is use wider. Let's try this. It's always fun to just try things. See what happens. So the nice thing about this is that it widens. So that's quite cool. I think I might do a bit of both. I might put a bit of the widening on here too, but just a bit gentler. So it's not so stark when it kicks back into this. I wonder if I can just make that a bit gentler here. Yeah, it's good. So we're going to open this up again. See how ethereal it gets in these moments. Not too much, you don't want to overdo it.
Believe again. I'm calling
Just want to make sure I'm not introducing any artifacts in here. So this is quite nice if I could open up this. No, I'm not so sure about that actually. This is another area where we're going to have to do some gain automation. You can hear it clicking. I'm going to use this limiter for this. So I'm just looking at this here, I'm just trying to like stop it from jumping into like -8 dB of gain reduction. What's wrong? That's on washout. I know. That's what I've done here. That's better. That's great. Where's my supermassive? Here we are. I'm going to do some more supermassive in a few parts here. So this here probably. Just gonna... do this automation as well. See, I can watching the limiter here just to make sure I'm not overdoing it. This is too quiet here. something going on weird in there.
home, coming home, coming home, coming home, coming
I think I want that to come in at the same time as everything else. So I have to re-record that melody. Yeah, it's better to come in at the same time as everything else. So let's just re-record that bit in Melodyne. Actually, take that bit off there as well. Beautiful. Oh, that's the old one. That's better. Okay. Filter. I want to use this filter in a couple of spots. If I just combine that with a washout, it's quite a nice effect. So that's this receding effect. It's really nice. don't know. There's something about the nice. Do I want that filter on? Yeah, something about it filtering out, which is quite nice, actually. And I think I want to do some filtering in here. See, you can just use these spatial effects, just create some little like. And then I can even do, if I do track panning, maybe I can pan it a bit just to kind of. Just letting the chorus roam around a bit. This is where you can use effects for storytelling, right? So like it roams around and then it comes back to the center, which is coming home again, you know? So it's like, it's a bit over there, it's a bit over here. Do some more echo, some delay on that section, I think, just to make it more interesting. do a bit of that, like. Creating some extra. And then I wonder if in that section there I do a bit of this, which is to portal it. So if I put that ahead of there and then put in something like digital tape toys, which is always a bit of a good go-to. I just do a bit of a just going to creates a bit more space in that. It's nice. That's quite cool. All right then. Good. So let's know. What I want to do next is move into some fine detail mixing. Okay, so we need to get this set up for my real fine detail mix. And you'll see that on the master channel, I want to start adding some things to get us to the point where we can start to really hear what we're doing and start to compare it to references more easily. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get an edition of Ozone and pop this on here. I'm going to switch off this kind of little interim master that I had. And I'm going to add a maximizer on here. I'm going to get this to the right level of loudness. Let's find a really loud part of the track. Hold on. So this is like the loudest part of the track here. I'm going to loop it. This is going to get loud. You see I'm aiming for around about the -7 dB there, mark there, but you can see that I'm getting straight away like -5 of gain reduction. I want to just take the output level down to 0.1, and I'm going to put this to the modern setting, which I like. So then I'm going to add a vintage compressor on here. Put that into smooth. And give it about 1 dB of gain reduction with auto on so that it just increases it again. Put an EQ on it. And I usually just... I mean, it sounds pretty nice, to be honest with you. I quite like it without it on. I usually just test that a little bit because sometimes it can really improve the mix to get rid of that real muddy bottom end. But on this track, it just doesn't sound like it's actually causing any issues. What I'm also going to do then is do a... Now you can hear that kind of crunching. So you can see I can get about half a dB out if I put that shelf on. Now what's interesting here is if I get rid of that crunching, you'll see that I'm not getting as much volume here. So that is sometimes a sign that our kick is too loud, and we'll come back to that because we can use referencing just to kind of get that absolutely right. So that's probably all I'm going to add for now, because the rest of it I will add later when I do proper mastering. The other thing I will add just quickly is the J37 tape, because I tend to find that just gives us a bit of extra depth, which is sometimes nice to hear when you're mixing. So what I do is I go for this, one of these mastering settings. It's quite a lot there. See, it's added a lot of... Take it down a bit. It's added a lot of... just add some volume there, some loudness. Kick still sounding nice and clean. This is by the way not the right and wrong way to do it. Some people like to have a little bit of crunch on their kick. They actually it can be a production technique. It could be something you actually like because of the sound of it. I don't. I like to have my kick really nice and clean. I don't want it that kind of gritty sound in here. I want everything to sound quite soft and smooth. So that's why I'm aiming to go for a sound which sounds quite clean. The other thing I could do here actually, which might help matters, is I've just noticed that on my kick itself, not really EQing the bottom off at all. So what I might do is just help things along here by seeing what it's like if I add a Pro Q here. I'm going to do some Pro Q just because really much better quality. I wouldn't suggest doing this with EQ8. Just a gentle curve at about the 20k mark. Let's see. And then you can just add a little bit of boost back in there. That's tightened all that up nicely. And then we can go back here. See how much more volume we can get out of this now. Comfortably get another half a dB. Okay, that's nice. So then the other thing I want to do is I want to add reference to the master, which is down here. We've got, oh, that's the audio unit. I don't want the audio unit. Where's reference 3 VST? There we go, VST3. This is reference 3 and it's extremely cool. I am just getting the hang of using it. I haven't used it a lot. So we're just going to listen to this section of the track and see what it throws up as referencing suggestions. I don't know what that will do. I haven't used this before. Just used it normally. So what will it suggest? There you go. Oh wow! So it's gone into my reference folder and picked out some good references that it thinks will. And actually, that's amazing. One of the references it picked up is Tomb Kingfisher, which was the original reference I picked to start this track with. That's pretty good. Go mastering the mix. That is exceptional. So we can see here, this is my track. My track is louder at the bottom end and a little bit quieter at the top end, which you can hear, but not by much. We're at a 90% mix. It also chooses the loudest part of the reference, which is quite cool. So you can see where our low end's pretty good. Compared to Jordan Post. Again, we got we're a bit louder at the very bottom, but we're quieter at the top. Let's see what we're like. That's this Thomas Gandy track. It's really nice, this Thomas Gandy track. And then Jack Willett, obviously. wouldn't be a mixing session with me unless we did some Jack Willard referencing. So we definitely, what I'm getting from all these references, you can see the whole tilt is a bit wrong. We need to tilt it back. We need to basically make the bottom end a little bit quieter, and that's in the sub region. And then we're going to make the top end a little bit louder. So let's do the bottom end first. You can hear it's this sub. So if I switch it off, I'm wondering if I cut a little bit more of this EQ off, what it does. I mean, we're into like the half dB territory at this stage. So it's really, we're talking small margins. I think I'm happy with that where it is. And then so let's just then so that's pretty good. Honestly, we're really close. We're like in the 94% range. So having done that initial kind of check to see like are we in the roughly the right ballpark on the mix, what I want to do now is a little bit of detailed mixing just to kind of carve out some more space in certain areas. So what we're going to look at here is this span. Got a lot going on in here. This is this. Try and create some separation here in that range as well. I think it's the vocal. It's around about here. Just trying to attenuate some of these frequencies in that 800k range, causing a real build-up of volume there. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And then let's just do some more reference checking. Just do a bit of the checking in that area too that we were just in. You can see there's quite a lot of build up in there. Might take a little bit out of the piano in that area too. And then what's going on with the bass line? Yeah, it's this top bass is adding a lot of grit here. That's better. See, feel it already just... Might add a bit of compression to this sound here, because it gets quite loud here, and again it's all in that area. And you can see how by zooming in on this area, I'm not getting distracted by everything else. There's a little kind of weird noise. It's like a sample in here, I think. There. That's nice though. Okay, let's see what that's like with everything else. You can hear just the top end. Get that top end right. It's the drums. What else can we just boost a little bit? Sometimes this is also about sound selection, like I might just... I wonder if I do some auto panning to those hats. Yeah, so what I think I can do now is let's get some bus processing going on here. So you can see I've added this a while back, I think, is kind of chain to do some bus processing, so we can add some enhancement. Let's just make sure though that we're not just adding volume. So we're going to go back here to drums. Let's actually turn that down for a second and go, okay. So minus 19. So I'm going to get this limiter to minus 20. And just push it into the limiter a bit. And I've got it on soft clip mode, so I'm kind of using it as a clipper. So that's nice. It's sitting about the 20 mark, 20.6. And I can push these into it. Still sitting about the 20 mark, so not getting any extra volume, and if I want to just roll off the input ever so slightly to account for the additional, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can say either, well, like turn it off, and I'm getting minus 3.79. Turn it on, minus 4. I mean, I might just roll off here. It's just as easy. There you go. So let's see what that sounds like. See. See, you cannot get that same sound without some saturation and processing. That's what you're hearing there in those professional records, is the processing. And that's really simple. I've just used the drum kit enhancer Roar plugin, which is really nice, and then the normal saturator on analog clip. That's all I've added there, and some compression limiting. Dead simple. Now, I want to do a bit of... Is that the only bus processing I want to do? I've done some... I think that's fine on there. Maybe add a little bit of saturation. Only a touch to harmonics, because I've already added quite a lot on the channel itself. And let's get that down to minus 20, so it's not louder than the drums. In fact, maybe that minus 19. So it's a bit louder. And we know that's at minus, so that's minus 24. Good, okay. Low end's at minus 12. Right, okay, nice. Well, that sounds great. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is a little bit of a check in Slate VSX. So I'm hoping you can hear this. It may not sound great to you because you've not got these headphones on, but these headphones, basically what they do is they allow me to hear this in a whole bunch of different locations. So what I tend to do is this studio check. I'm just looking for the general shape of the mix. But this has got some cool stuff in it as well, by the way. I'm going to look at some of this other stuff in a second. This is quite a good one. This SUV is quite a good one for low end. You could almost get away with a little bit more sub in there. Sounds nice. And we could also do things like, what's it going to sound like on a phone? All right, pretty good, pretty good. I'm happy with that. So, okay. Let's do another quick check. So now I'm going to test in my in-ear earbuds. Okay, so I've got these little Soundcore headphones. You can see that they're just really simple. I think they cost a grand total of about £25. And I use them quite often for getting kind of a last little mix going, because I know these headphones really well. I listen to a lot of music on them, especially the low end. I know how it should sound. So this is where I'm going to start just doing little tweaks based on what I'm hearing here. Okay. And that's better. Remember to turn VSX off. Okay. Yeah. Way too much low end. Yeah, these headphones give me so much bottom end. Just getting the volume level right. Don't want it too loud. Just gonna get. Body in the vocal. Something very tinny in that ride. Some like weird distorting going on here. I don't know where it's happening. Referencing. There's a lot of there's quite a lot of build up here in the kind of central space. That ride is too high. A little bit. In a little bit.
Giving way to light, I'm coming home again. Home, the end of night. Giving way to light, I'm coming home again. The end of night. Giving way.
I think this is where we're going on here.
I'm coming home again.
It's better.
The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again.
There we go.
The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again. home again. The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again. Home again. The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again. Home again. The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again. Home again. The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming. The end of night, giving way.
Let's see.
The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again. The end of night, giving way. The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again. Home again.
Yeah, I think this limiter is actually adding some sort of character to it, which isn't working.
The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again. Home again. The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again. Home again. The end of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again. Home again. The end of night, giving. Tried to hold me, but I turned toward the sound of my heartbeat inside me, calling me down, me down. Breathe in, believe again, fall apart, then rise again. All lost, I found within. I'm coming home again. Home
Vocals sounds a bit quiet to me. some of this automation.
The feeling of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again. Home again. Feeling of night, giving way to light. I'm coming home again.
Spread that vocal a little bit, I think. Better. Okay, so I think this is in a really good place. The last little bit I want to do is just touch up the master a little bit, just to kind of add a couple of bits to this. So go adjust that pass. Let's put an imager on it. I like to just do a little bit of widening here. This is quite cool, this low in focus one. And I don't add any gain, just a bit of punchy contrast. And that, I think, is all I'm going to use on this. Then what I'm going to do is I want to take this, add a little bit of upward compression here. In fact, I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to reduce this by a few dB. So it's 3.5 dB. I'm going to add that back up to 0. And now I'm going to do some multiple maximizing, because this allows each maximizer to just do very, very little work. So where is it gone? Ozone. So I'm going to add another one. Just with maximizer on again. Modern. Nothing else. And then another one. This one is going to have modern, and I'm going to put the output to there. Okay, now I'm going to come back in here and make sure this is just tickling the limiter. Okay, now I'm going to go in here, do like a dB again. Maybe we'll do 2. Then on this one, yeah, that's good. Add a touch of upward compression, add a little touch of clipping, bit of transient emphasis. And reduce that. See how I've got it doing such little amount of work? and that's going to get you a nice clean master. Just check the kick again, make sure it's not crunching. Nope, perfect. Okay, so that's my master channel. It's pretty simple. J37 tape. Can get rid of this. Ozone with just some low end focus and EQ. You see on the EQ, I could just really, I don't do a lot in the EQ, to be honest with you. Really gentle. Because when the mix is where you want it to be, it really, what is that there? That's at 400. In fact, what I might do there is a bit of dynamic EQ, just at 400. Don't need it. Nice, okay. And then the other limiters, and that's it. That's what goes in the master chain. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to stop the session and I'm going to take a break. I'm going to bounce this out, put it on in my headphones, listen to it around the house, put it on the car, have just a general kind of, have it on the background, get a general sense for stuff that's sticking out, stuff that's too quiet. I usually make notes on my phone as I'm listening. So I'll just go like, this needs to be a bit louder here, this needs to be a bit quieter there. And so when I come back in the studio next, I'm going to have a list of notes to get started on. I'm also going to do some more listening in the studio, and then I will eventually do another and final pass on this to get it where it needs to be. I'm also going to share it with Luna and see what she thinks. So my last video in this series will be me doing some final tweaks, and then also giving some guidance on how I send these to labels, the kind of email I write with it, and the technology I use to do that. So I hope it's been helpful. I think we've got to a really nice place with the track. It's sounding really cool. It's getting really close to being ready. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much.